What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Thank you guys for following. Thank you for all your support. Hope you're having a great day, man. This was going to be quick. I just wanted to basically touch on, enthusiasm, man, in business and staying positive, staying, changing, ever changing, right? So I see a lot of guys on YouTube that haven't really, or, online, social media, whatever, haven't really made it yet, right? And they go directly to teaching. That seems to be like the new thing. Go straight to teaching, talking about, being a mentor and being a coach and a consultant. And I kind of disagree with that because I think you're spending a lot of time on social media, a lot of time trying to train and help people on things that you may have not really done yet, or areas that you may not have, reached yet, or plateaus that you may not have reached yet. And I think it's a good thing to get out there and get some actual experience, get some knowledge, and build some credentials. I saw Grant on Earn Your Leisure talking about, your receipt, basically saying like, who's your buddy that's going to vouch for you? A receipt is just another term to say somebody that's, proof of what you got going on. So I thought that was a pretty cool term, but basically, if you need experience, and you need to know what you're talking about, you need to have proof, and you need to have done it. So how are you going to tell somebody how to build $1 million trucking company if you haven't built $1 million trucking company? I have, and we're going to continue to grow from there. And I think that that's where I'm at now, where I'm able to tell some people about that. But if you guys are still, doing, say, 5,000 a month, don't focus so much, in my opinion, on telling everybody how to do it. Just focus on getting that number to, 100,000 a month or 200,000 a month, and get your numbers up where you can expand at a better pace. You can do more marketing. You can have more credentials to stand on, things like that. But in saying that, you guys that are getting into it, there's going to be struggles to get to that point, right? And this video is basically just about, embracing the explosion. When you're blowing up your business and doing big things, I kind of stole this from Dan, dang it, I can't think of his name. But anyway, embracing the explosion, it was a really cool thing. I'll put his name in the link in the video. But embracing the explosion, I thought was a really cool concept, because things are messy when you're blowing up a business. To blow it up and to scale it at a rapid pace, it was like that in my construction company, car dealership, guys that I know that do real estate, guys that have done other trucking companies, restaurant businesses. It doesn't matter what it is, man. When you're blowing up, taking on a ton of work, taking on new people, new problems, new employees, whatever it is, it's messy, man. There's just a lot of, because you can't do it all. You miss things, you misspeak, you miss a step. Sometimes, no matter how perfect you are, you cut a corner. That you might not be somebody that cuts corners, but you end up cutting a corner just because this job needed to get done and off the books and move on to the next thing. Or you're trying to be wearing too many hats, or a master of everything, and end up falling for being a master of nothing. So when you're going from $10,000 a month, the struggle really gets real, guys, because at $10,000 a month, you can manage it with you and your girl, you and your wife, you and your friend, you and your brother, you by yourself. Now, when you get to 100,000 a month, and I'm just doing it in these increments because I thought it would be easier. When you get to 100,000 a month, things get a little bit dicier, right? Or even a year, when you're going from, say, a part-time thing to, 100,000 a year to 200,000 a year, 500,000, $1 million a year, right? And I've got some other videos out there talking about what it takes to get there, what type of numbers you have to do, and putting that basically pen to paper to really talk about what it's like, right? So there's going to be, in the explosion and blowing up your business and doing things really big, you have to see that it's messy. So you have to kind of control that explosion the best you can, but there's just some things that are out of your control. You got to learn how to lease. You got to learn how to fire. You got to learn how to hire. You're going to have new banks, new procedures, new insurance companies, new insurance agents, new agents with compliance, new struggles. We had to change our whole business model mid-shift in our company. A couple of different times. We started out trying to do other things, and I tried to go into the Sprinter van, I tried to go into drive van, I tried to go a box truck route, I tried to do a lot of other things, and then we ended up settling with semis and 40-foot hot shots is all we mess with now, primarily step deck and flatbed freight. So we had to do a lot of shifting and a lot of different things to see what didn't work and what did work, because I came out of a different industry. I didn't grow up in this industry like some guys that get to see what it's like. But even seeing what it's like, it's cyclical, which basically means that it goes up and down, and it's going to change, and things, guys going out. You see all the companies during COVID that went bankrupt, or a lot of the guys that are saying, oh, I'm getting out of this shit, there's no money in this or this and that. And the truth of it is, guys, is there is money in it. And there's a lot of money in it, but it's all about what you're willing to give up, what you're willing to sacrifice, how much effort and work you're willing to put into it to get the job done. It might not be for you, right? Getting direct shippers, getting clients, scaling, learning how to hire right, learning how to lease right, learning how to grow your business, learning how to blow it up and get attention, because guys, money follows attention. Grant says that all the time, and that's something that I love the way he says that. Money follows attention. If you can't get attention, you're not going to get people to come work for you. If you can't get attention, you're not going to get lease owner operators. You're not going to get people to want to drive for you. You're just not. So you have to say, hey, look at me, in order to get attention. And then you want to deliver on that, because it's not enough just to bring them in. That's a lot of companies manage that very well. They get people in the door. It's keeping them and retaining them. So you're going to have new struggles. You're going to have new things. You have to come up with a new business model. Sometimes you have to come up, new problems equals success, because success is messy, guys. It doesn't end up just, straight up. It doesn't. And it's a roller coaster sometimes when you're learning, unless you get a consultant, somebody who's been through it, to avoid a lot of those problems and headaches and roadblocks. You have great credit. You can get really good funding. You have a really solid plan. You set down and really, really got a good plan together, and you execute on that plan day in and day out. And you have goals, you set them up, crush them down, and knock them down. That's just the basics of it. If you're not going to do those things and you're coming into it willy-nilly, just thinking, hey, I'm going to go buy a truck, I'm going to get on the road, I'm going to start hiring owner operators. Now I want to get off the road, I'm going to dispatch, I'm going to do this. It's messy. You're going to learn about dispatch. You're going to learn about banking problems, how to pay your guys. What are you going to do when you forgot that the bank's holidays? You got guys that have to deliver stuff from Friday to Monday. It's a layover. They can't get paid. They don't have the money to deliver the load. Now somebody's ticked off at you. Now you got a report on whether it be Central, Truck Stop, DAT, Better Business Bureau, Facebook, everywhere. Now they're like, hey, this guy doesn't pay his bills. They can't get loads delivered. Things like those. You don't want things like that in your business. So it's a messy struggle to avoid all of this. And you think every day running 20 trucks that it's easy? It's not. Day in and day out, there's struggles, there's problems. We just had one where we had something that was too heavy on there. It ended up blowing out a hub on a hot shot, and it was just a major pain in the butt. The broker had bad credit. They're not wanting to pay after it's been delivered. It's just been a nightmare, right? So sometimes and I'm in the situation now where I've had people be like, why don't you just do this and do a lean and do all these different things? And sometimes, guys, it costs more, and it's better to just walk away. It costs more to keep up with that headache, to prove a point, or to justify, or to think that there's going to be a higher bag at the end of it. Sometimes the best bag is just to walk away. You see this in court a lot. 9 times out of 10, lawyers want to settle cases because it's cheaper for them. They avoid going to court. They don't have to work as hard. And sometimes the best outcome is in a settlement versus going to court and losing, or potential rolling the dice, or you don't know how the judge is going to come down on it, or whatever, right? So that's basically always the outcome. When a situation like that, sometimes you end up where it's better just to walk away. But what are you going to do in those situations? Because they will arise in your business. If you're going to get to 5 trucks, you'll have those problems with 3. 3 trucks, you'll have those problems with 2 trucks. You'll have those problems with 1 truck. So what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do when those problems arise? Because you're not going to know. You just don't know everything. I don't know everything, guys. I execute every day. We have $1 million trucking company. I don't know how to deal with some of the issues some days, but I use my best judgment. I have some key people around me that I go to for, support or going back and forth on things, and it's just good to have that team, because that team keeps you grounded. And you don't get that team in the beginning. I've got it now, but it's taken years to get there. It didn't just start overnight. I didn't just, boom, have a team to operate, manage dispatch, to manage payroll, to manage, DOT compliance, the safety director. I didn't have all of these things, and now I do, and it's totally different, right? So when you start, you're going to be wearing a million hats. You're going to be the safety guy. You're going to be the dispatcher. You're going to be sometimes the driver, sometimes the carrier, the guy loading the stuff. You're dealing with compliance. You're dealing with aggravation. You're the guy when the broker's mad. You're the guy when things go bad, right? So how do you avoid those things? And you're going to have new struggles. Insurance is going to say, because of this, we're going to drop you. It's a liability. Or you have a claim come up, or something that's out of your hands, not your fault. We've had several of them, guys. People just trying to get over on you. They're sleazeball people. So you have to protect yourself, but you're going to have to go through those struggles, and you got to figure it out. So blowing up your business, becoming 5, 10, 15, 20 trucks is messy. And you guys need to focus on that, I think, and not so much on YouTube and being mentors. I just see them like click, click, click. Everywhere you go, there's a mentor now. And that almost makes me want to stop doing it, because I think there's enough of them. I think that, the vlogs and things are one thing. When they're like, you guys got, they're vlogging their day and they're showing you the behind the scenes, that's pretty cool. But when you got guys that are just like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this all the time, it's just like, who the hell's right? Listen to the guys that are actually doing it and doing it on a big scale. And I guess they got to prove it. So I need to just put more out there about proving maybe the dollar amounts and the things that we do and stuff. But, I do the best I can with this as kind of a part-time thing just to help people. But at the end of the day, it's going to be messy. And the hard part is to stay positive throughout. I did a video a while back that you guys should go check out called Emotion and Business, right? And it's about not blowing up and getting mad and getting, all crazy, because you can't keep a level head that way. If you go read books like Art of War or different thing, the person who's the calmest always prevails 99% of the time, in my opinion. So whenever you're able to make calm, calculated, collective decisions, you have to focus on what's good for you in the long run. Sometimes, you need some delayed gratification. Sometimes you need some self-preservation. My mom tells me that all the time. It's kind of a funny thing, because I'm almost to the detriment. I'll either take risk, or I'll, to my pride, I'll say, no, this, because I'm prideful, right? Or whatever the reason is, maybe I'm just, I don't want to do that, or, it's the right thing to do, and I don't want to do anything but like right, moral, legal, and ethical to the best of my ability. And sometimes that's at your detriment. Sometimes it's better just to keep your mouth shut and walk away and do the best thing that you can and not go down those routes, to learn some self-preservation, right? So that's just what you're going to get into, guys. I didn't want this video to drag out too long. It already is over 10 minutes. But basically, man, the hard part is staying positive. So you have to sit down and think about, how am I going to stay positive throughout these problems? How am I going to when the insurance is going bad, when my box truck breaks down because I screwed up and I was trying box trucks and I did it the wrong way, instead of leasing one, I went and bought one, like another video I've got about a guy that did that, or whatever. I bought a smaller trailer, not the right trailer. Now I'm in it. Now I've got it's dinging my credit. I got to pay for the thing. What am I going to do? Yada, yada, right? Or I lease a trailer out to a guy. He leaves it stranded in Oklahoma, and I live in Carolina, or whatever. All these things that come out into being a bunch of just mess in a big ball when you're blowing up your business, right? Whether you're a dispatcher and you run a dispatch company, or you're a safety compliance company, you're dealing with guys that are going all over and haywire, or you run your own carrier service as an MC, and you're buying trucks or leasing trucks or lease owner operators, they've got freight on the trailer they're in control of. What if you tick them off by having a hot mouth or a hot head, and you run out there and say something to them, and they're like, oh yeah, buddy, well, guess what? And they go out and hook a chain to it and yank it off the trailer, and now you're responsible for it, and they take off and go to lease on with somebody else. Those guys can tear up your safety score. So stay on top of them. Stay on top of GPS tracking. Stay on, there's a million videos on that stuff too, but this video is just about, what are you going to do? How are you going to stay positive throughout these up and downs and through the explosion and blowing up your business? Because I want you to blow it up, guys. I really do. I want you to get to 20, 30, 40, 50 trucks. Get bigger than me. Race me to it, whatever. But how are you going to maintain it and stay positive throughout? Because in blowing it up, people get, things get burnt, and things get messy, things get funky. But you got to be able to stay as positive as possible, right? So, that's the key to it, man, is just staying positive throughout all the problems and the bumps and the bruises that occur when you're in business, because it's messy. It's like life. So that's basically the 2 cents from the trucking guy. I hope you guys are able to figure it out. I hope you're able to be successful. If you need anything, please let me know. We do have a website, guys, you can go to, consultthetruckingguy.com, where you can schedule phone calls. We can consult on your business. You call me directly, book a call. We'll be able to, go and actually dive into your business, see what maybe you're doing wrong, give you some pointers, tips, and help on what to do right and things to figure out, or even give you some people that'll help get you on the right path. Who to call, who to contact, things to do. So if you need that, please reach out to that service. Again, it's consultthetruckingguy.com. If you need anything else, please direct message me. I'll be glad to hear from you. That's us. Check it out, man. Catch you on the next one.